All right, so welcome back to the Elle Daily message. I'm kind of digging the sound of Elle Daily. I'm almost thinking instead of putting my name ellenroers, or ellenroers is my real name, but ellenroers versus Elle Daily. You'll have to let me know what you think. I think the nice thing about putting Elle Daily is folks that I guess people can Google the name and find me easier since they know my last name. And I thought maybe the Elle Daily is a little more fun, a little more stage name. I don't know. Give me your thoughts on that. But regardless, these little daily messages will go in the Elle Daily files of my YouTube channel too, so at least they're easy to find. But with that being said, today's message was a fun one, especially I'll have to give you a little story about last night when I was out and about. So I cultivate deep connections that make me feel fulfilled. So there you go. So I'm thinking this one speaks to me in a lot of ways because I love to connect with people, even if I never see them again. Let's say it's on the plane, for example. So I have two fun examples. And let me know if you have any that kind of happen like this. I totally believe in serendipity, or people are put in your life in the right time when you need the message or you need whatever it is, right? Kind of helps to guide you. So I was on my flight home Sunday and met this lovely lady. She went to Cornell, had her MBA, and she's works in New York and San Francisco, but lives in Montana. And so we're chatting on the plane, and she said, "Oh my gosh, well, I have a friend from Cornell. She's about your age. She's single. She is from, I think she said Wayzata, Minnesota, but lives downtown Minneapolis." And I'm like, "Oh, perfect. We probably live super close." And so she's like, "Here's where she lives, And with that being said, with Wi-Fi in the plane, she introduced us via cell phone on the Wi-Fi plane, and we connected. And so we're going to meet for brunch on Saturday. And I thought, how cool, because it's just cool how these connections work, right? And if I were one to just not talk to the person next to me on the plane, I would have missed out on those conversations, right? So yeah, we had a nice time chatting, and it was a great flight. And now I'll have a new friend, I imagine, because I'm sure we will connect. So with that being said, the other cool coincidence that's kind of serendipitous. So I actually had a date last night, and he was running late. So there's another gentleman sitting by himself, and somehow we started chatting. Come to find out, he works for, or no, he's from Houston, where I used to live, and works in medical device industry, much like myself. And without kind of revealing, I sign NDAs with these companies, so I can't reveal the name of the company. But he works for the company that I'm working with right now to kind of work on a deal. And he was actually at my the APS portion of my company, which is NAMSA. So I thought, what in the world? What a small world that he was actually there from Houston working with my company, and then the same company that I've been working with on a proposal. So anyways, it was nice to connect with him. And so what I'm saying is those conversations that we cultivate, even like I may never see him again, but what a cool experience. We did say we'll exchange LinkedIn information. So those kind of things are so fulfilling. It's those little cool conversations. And if you don't take the time to, open up and talk to people, you kind of miss it. So, and I really believe if you kind of imagine, what is the type of connection that I need either today, this week, in my life to keep growing or be the best version of myself. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know your thoughts on it. And what I would say to journal to is, are you open to connecting with others? What are some of the things that, questions you could ask someone to kind of start that initial conversation? And maybe you're like, you know what, I've got enough people in my life. I don't need to do that. For me, I just think it's such a fun part of my soul journey. So there's that. So today I'm not going to pull the surrender cards. I'm going to pull, gosh, we're already 4 minutes, so maybe I won't do too much. This is a great book. If you haven't read The 4 Agreements, I highly recommend it, by Don Miguel Ruiz. I don't know if I said his last name right, but Don Miguel. Really good book. There's a full book that I have. These are some cards. They're all, there's 4 different messages in them based on the agreements. So I'm going to pull one of those today. Even if you don't know what the 4 agreements are, totally fine, because these messages will resonate with some of you, I imagine. So let's see. Okay, well, how funny is that? So this is very much about making deep connections. Part of deep connections is speak openly and honestly. So it's so true. The more you can be your authentic self, we talk about that a lot on this channel. Let it come from the heart, be real, be true. And people appreciate that. There's no need to cover things up or try to boast, or I don't know what it is. But yeah, just speak openly and honestly. And the message back here, when you speak openly and honestly, you won't have to make assumptions. The day you stop making assumptions, you will communicate cleanly and clearly and achieve impeccable with your word, or impeccability with your word. So I get what that's saying too. It's like, as if you can be a little bit more direct and not be, you get those people that are passive aggressive where they'll say something and you're having to read between the lines and you're like, I think I get what you're saying, but if you would just tell me it or just ask for it, I would appreciate that more. So I know as I grow, I'm definitely working on being more direct, not being passive aggressive, truly stating what I need and what's on my mind. So that's a great message. And honestly, the more you can speak openly, the more you will have a deeper connection. Because I think it allows you to feel free, or the other person too. It builds that trust. So let's see what our soul journey card is, and then we will wrap it up. So we are getting towards the end of the week. I think Friday or Saturday is my favorite day of the week. You'll have to let me know what yours is. Okay, courage. So I live life passionately and courageously. So another good one for cultivating connections, right? It takes a bit of courage to speak up to somebody, I think. Like for him to chat with me and vice versa. And there was actually another cool little table. It was two gentlemen sitting together and we were just all conversing and it was so much fun. So I'm going to read this one since we got a little time. So let's see what the courage card is about. Okay. And I like the little yellow here. So card meaning, throw your shoulders back, step forward and take a risk. Be willing to listen to the beat of your own drum, honor your truth, speak up for yourself, be impeccable in all of your actions. Your soul wants you to know you have the radiant spirit of a warrior of the light. This isn't the time to be timid and pull back. Don't allow yourself to be limited by your belief systems. Ooh, and that's what my next video is up on. It's about how we are so programmed with society, whether it's religion, culture, your heritage, or your corporation. There's so many ways that we'll get more into it, but it's going to be a good video. And it's talking a lot about being able to kind of step out of that, the limiting belief systems. I know a lot of belief systems are great and they're there for a reason, but sometimes it can limit us. So with that being said, we're going to talk a little more about it in the next video. So courage doesn't mean that you aren't afraid. So you can be afraid, absolutely. Fearless means just that, fear less. So fear less. Acknowledge that you're frightened and take action anyway. Okay, face your anxiety and go beyond the boundaries of limited perceptions of yourself. You're a light bearer for others, so that's to you. Know that you make a difference. Through your example, people find an act of their truth. So live passionately and courageously. So I really think this sums it all up so well. And just both cards, honestly, really, really connect with just kind of taking that leap of faith, whether it is just to communicate, have those relationships. Maybe it's just what I did, like launching the actual business, my therapy business. I think that took me some courage and I was like, maybe a little bit fear. So I think what I need to do is have courage and fear less about the outcome and just know that I've done all the work. It'll work as it should. And I know I say that all the time, but remember that all works out as it should and it makes it much easier to enjoy your day to day. All right, sending you all so much love and I will see you on Fabulous Friday. Bye.